It's a Wednesday and we're celebrating here. Being Wednesday. Celebration times. Come on. Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's Mr. Pitcock by himself. This morning, Miss Barber is up doing vision screening for the eighth grade. So I am here solo hosting. Hopefully, this is my Emmy nomination here for a solo host. And of course, Ms. Barber always gets the nomination for excellent co-host. So welcome everybody to Wednesday. I do want to talk a little bit about, we're going to talk about today about iLearn, just to make sure that you're understanding what we had to do for iLearn. And please note that these are rules that have to be followed throughout the state, not just, it's not a Mr. Pitcock rule, it's not a Washington Township rule. And we'll get to this here in a second too, it's on the slides today, but making sure, number one, that you're here on time every day, starting the week of April 19th. So every day you're here, in-person students, every day you're here, we'll be testing that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. For our virtual students, you'll be testing on Monday the 19th and Monday the 26th. We'll be bringing you in separately. During that time, one thing that we have to say to every student is that all phones must be off, not just silenced. They have to be actually off during this time. So what you'll do is turn your phone off, make sure it's off, and then it goes into your bag. Don't just silence them. They have to be off. Also, too, your smartwatches that you wear, those of you that have smartwatches need to have those turned off as well, because you have anything that can take pictures or text anything. So those have to be off as well. We have clocks in the room, and we'll be able to tell you what time it is and how. And really, the iLearn tests, there is no quote unquote strict time limit, but we will be taking those tests. And if you need to know what time it is, and we'll just ask a teacher, and some of you guys have the digital clocks in your room. So those are the most important things. I do need to let you know. So if you're a student right now and you're looking at this and you're 100% virtual, I need to make sure you tell your parents to look at Parent Square and go on there and fill out that form for you to come in those days, because it asks 4 questions. It says, number one, what your student name is, and I want you to fill out. So if you're multiple students in your family, make sure that they fill out one for each person in your family. So it's student name, grade, whether or not you'll need a bus or you'll drive in to school that day, and then will you be needing a lunch or will you be bringing your own? Those are the 4 questions on the form, and we need to make sure that every virtual student has a question answered. There is a form for both English and Spanish speaking families, so they either way. And I know Parent Square will translate messages coming into parents, so they'll understand that. And then again, there's like I said, an English and a Spanish version on their Parent Square. I will actually start posting this tonight on our westlaneparents.com. So it'll be about iLearn English and a form in English, iLearn form in Spanish, and I'll have a little bit of information about that too that I had for Parent Square. But we make sure that we have everybody kind of locked down. You'll find out your groups next week. Most of you in-person students will be testing with your advisory teacher. Now, not all. And so we'll again start telling you that next week. We'll have a practice run of where we're going for time on next Friday, and then we'll do a practice test next week as well during just our advisory time. So, and we're telling teachers this tomorrow, so I don't want to give away too many surprises, but make sure you guys turn off your phone. Make sure you understand that now. You can still bring them. That's not a problem, but they must be turned off. And that is a state of Indiana Department of Education rule that your phone must be turned off, and any watches that can transmit anything must be turned off as well. And so I know a lot of some of you have Apple watches like I do, or have watches that hook up to your phone so you can text through, that sometimes they have to be on, sometimes they don't, but it's just better off just to turn them off. So we're not any kind of violation of any of the rules for the state of Indiana. All right, so iLearn, again, we're going to do our best on this test like we always do. We tell you every year to do your best on iLearn, and that's what we're going to do. All right, so we'll make sure we have a great attendance time there. So you had to be here at school, and then also that we are getting those done in time. All right, so with no further ado, we will go into our announcements. All right, today is Wednesday, April the 7th. Wadna's dog, April the 7th. All right, don't forget to start your day at Canvas, msdwt.instructure.com. Every day starts at Canvas, even if you're here. I know that a lot of teachers do their bell work on Canvas, and in-person students, make sure you're on time on Canvas as well. Parents, start your day at westlaneparents.com. Students, you can start there too. You can tell your parents to go to westlaneparents.com. And that's our parent portal, and also talks about what you should be doing for the day. If there's any technology issues, it gives our schedule for the week. And again, starting tonight, we'll also have iLearn information on there as well, and the form for you to fill out on iLearn as well. Don't forget, Parent Square is also a free app that you can sign up. It goes directly to your email. I know they are doing some certifications for Parent Square this week, so you just got to verify your email and your phone number on there. Just make sure you still continue to get all of the updates from us weekly, daily, from class, from district, from me each Sunday night at 7:15. So just make sure that you are set up for Parent Square. Don't forget to be responsible when you are here at Wesleyan. It means to bring your device and charger every day. Be sure to bring your devices charged. Ask questions when you do not understand. Keep everything you will need with you and leave what you don't in your backpack. And keep your phones put away except for lunch. Be responsible on Zoom as log in 5 minutes before class starts. And we really need our virtual students to be on time. Make sure your device is charged, and use any restroom and eat snacks before the class meets or after class meets. And also, too, ask questions when you do not understand. That's how to be responsible in the room and in the Zoom. If you have any technology issues, please dial 317-254-5566. Also, too, there is a technology form right underneath the weekly schedule on the parent portal on westlaneparents.com. It is right below the whole overall weekly schedule. Reminder, 6th grade AVID students that want to be an AVID next year, make sure you do your video part of your assignment, making sure that you're getting that done by this Friday. I know we had 87 applicants and we only had 18 videos done before spring break. So let's make sure that we're getting those videos done. Again, doing that during, could do that during home. Could I do that during, make sure you ask your advisory teacher if you can take a moment to go out and do your video for AVID if necessary. 6th graders, are you interested in honors, science, and social studies for next year? Please make sure you fill out an application and then get your current teacher's recommendation. So when you put in the recommendation, make sure you do that now, because we're trying to get these finalized by next week. But make sure, like, end of the week, you get them done so we can get Ms. Monroe, Mr. Walshield, Mr. Miller, and Mr. Allen to verify your recommendations. So make sure you get those filled out. Social studies, there's still a lot of room there, so make sure you're filling those out for social studies for next year too. Don't forget, our next meeting for Wesleyan Student Alliance for Equity is Monday, April the 12th from 12:05 to 1 o'clock on Zoom. All club information and Zoom links can be found on our Safe Canvas course. Please see Mrs. Courtney for any details. Okay, so iLearn, I'm going to circle back to this. Again, iLearn begins the week of April 19th. Virtual students, you'll test on Monday the 19th and Monday the 26th. In-person students will test on the mornings of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of each week. All phones and smartwatches will need to be turned off. Again, not like there's a difference between being on silent and being turned off. They need to be turned off and placed in backpacks that'll be underneath your desk or along the wall. Please make sure that your computers are charged each morning and you bring your chargers, because the worst thing that can happen is we somehow lose power during the test. We'll be able to complete it, but make sure if you just have your charger, that will be a non-issue. And please be here on time every day. On time, on time, on time. We're going to start testing each day at around 9:30. And so that means you've got to get here on time. Make sure you're on the bus. If you're getting dropped off, please make sure you're dropped off by 9:15. Make sure you're getting here. I know that some of us get here a little bit after that. We're really going to try to be here on time every day, essentially, but make sure definitely during those 6 days that we're doing iLearn testing. We've got birthdays. Oh, yes. Oh, I could sing happy birthday. No, I won't do that. But Manuela, okay. Happy birthday, Manuela, 6th grader. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday, Manuela. Oh, no, Miss Barbara's missing it. Robot doing IXL. So it's IXL dance party time. Don't forget, today is today I'm gonna end my IXL questions to see who is getting that outside time, and then we'll restart after tonight. See what questions are. I'm gonna have a list of who's doing what. So make sure you put your best foot forward to see who gets the extra outside time or advisory outside time during Friday. So get working on that. Don't forget the mission of Westlake Middle School is to develop lifelong learners and globally minded citizens by fostering the academic, creative, and social skills needed to achieve excellence in a multicultural environment. Every Wildcat every day gets better. All right, so like I've talked already, iLearn's coming up. And then right after that, we have NWEA. And we know it's like there's like set, we're in the 3rd week of the 9 weeks, 6 weeks after this week. A lot of things going on. I know we've got a music festival coming up in April, or coming up in May the 15th. That's a Saturday. We've got all kind of athletics going on starting here, I believe, next week. Make sure spring athletes, make sure of this. We know that weather in spring especially can just flip on an instant. It could be nice out, and then it could be torrential downpours, and it could be 80, and then it could be 50. And so just make sure that every time you're coming to a meet, especially track, because track goes late. And I've been at track meets that start out with that 75 and nice, and have ended up being 50 and windy. So make sure you always bring clothes that you can be warm in. I have sat in baseball and softball games that are just, if it's not raining and it's 45 out, we're playing. And that has always been something that is tough, but make sure that you're dressed appropriately and you have warm clothes in the dugout. We have long sleeves under your jerseys. Tennis, of course, too, making sure you're dressed appropriately, because you never know. It could be cold and windy. It could be very nice. We might even have a day that's it's kind of hot out. Yesterday, other people thought it was a little bit warm outside. It was 77 was the high yesterday. People thought it was hot. And again, that's our body's getting ready, getting used to that temperature, because we know in June and July, 77 will feel nice and comfortable. And it might even be a little bit chilly for some of us. And so making sure that we're dressed appropriately, or have the capability of layering on and having layers on and taking layers off, that we can for sports, especially for practices and especially for games. Because I'm going to tell you, if it's nice out, if it's not raining and the fields are dry and it's 50, we're playing baseball, we're playing softball, we're playing tennis, we're running track. So just make sure that you have that capability of layering. It could be cold, but we're going to be competing as long as this is, again, not raining. And sometimes even in the rain, we'll play baseball and softball. And especially remember, we're on track if it's not lightning, but we'll also take care of that. If it's severe weather coming, we'll make sure that we take care of that, and telling your parents, but make sure, even in school too. Like I know the AC can kick on at one point, and the AC, could be then cold and could be warm, just because it's trying to make sure it works with the weather. Again, the spring is always unpredictable. I've seen snow on May in the 1st of May before. I've seen it be 90 in the 1st of May before. You just never know. So make sure you're dressed appropriately for, like I said, layers for athletes and for students here at West Lane, and we'll try to keep you comfortable. Hopefully everybody has a great Wednesday. And if you don't, just think of it. I'm going to celebrate being a Wednesday.